Good evening, everyone.
Yes, ma'am. Please start the session. And
Okay, thanks.
I just tried to unmute all the participants. So please give me some time.
Yeah, sure.
Otherwise, please write your queries in the chat.
Hello.
And
Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, they can use the chat box. No problem. Okay. That. No. Yeah. Right. Right. Okay. You can do the recording. Okay.
ma'am, you press the record button.
Okay.
Here, the recording option is not visible. So please check.
Just a second.
Recording option is already on, so kindly continue with the session.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So, ma'am, should I start?
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Okay. So, welcome you all, dear teachers and admin and principals, to this session. Today's session is all about motivation and how to create a positive environment in the classrooms or maybe in the school campus, or maybe how to help children to be better in terms of discipline and behavior. So we look forward for this session and your active participation. Yeah, just a second, please. Okay, can you hear me all? Am I very much audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, thanks a lot. So I will expect your participation through the chat box because we want the session to be interesting and to be participative from your side so that we can take a call and move forward. Okay. We first understand why do we need motivation only? Okay, what are the some common problems which we do face in our classroom settings? In terms to when you see that we say that it's indiscipline, there are disciplinary issues. So what comes to our mind? May I request you to put through the chat box? What do you expect from your children? To engage the students? Okay. The tonic for betterment. Okay. See, some of the common problems when you go and even you doodle it, you will find that disrespect. Students speak and act in disrespectful way to adults and peers, and we want them to be talking in a positive way or to respect people around them. At times, students are not ready to listen to you and follow directions of the classroom. So they may be talking when you're taking classes, or they may be disturbing you when you're taking classes, or may not be submitting projects on time. And when you ask them, they are not ready to listen to you, some common problems. So in such cases, maybe of disrespect or defense or bullying, how are we going to make sure that our children cooperate with us in the best possible way? So today's session is all about how do we engage them in creating more respect, or maybe creating the discipline what we are expecting from our students. And these problems generally it's like because of family backgrounds, at times because of the environment, peer pressure, or maybe you can talk like social media pressure, social media outcomes. They want to talk, they want to discuss things which may not be required at that point of time. So here you can find, when you search that, yes, lot of reasons are there. And here we need to understand our children, why are they creating problems, then just understanding that there are problems around us. So some common issues today we'll be discussing, like general misconduct, poor performance, poor timekeeping, unauthorized absence, misuse of email, internet, or maybe social media, bullying and harassment, fraud, manipulations of data, health and safety issues. So in such cases, okay, when a child is not behaving the way we want, our common reactions are blaming or maybe accusing them, calling out names, that is denaming them, threatening them, if you do this, we will do this, giving orders, maybe a lecture mode where you try to give a lot of information which they are aware about, or maybe warning them. We'd like to look into cases and go into detailing of some things so that the how to deal becomes more clear than blaming or maybe calling out names or threatening or giving orders or maybe lecturing them or warning them. Okay, now teachers, it's time we participate together. Okay, so what would you do in such a scenario? First of all, what do you see around? Please use your chat box so we can be more interactive. Teachers, may I request you to use your chat box and response? You see a messy classroom, is it? Noisy classroom, indiscipline, right? Some fights, some noise, so playful, good. So how are you going to control such a classroom? What would be your first reaction? Keep quiet? Aren't you listening me? Are you in a classroom or in a field? Silence, be quiet. Okay. But do you feel, teachers, this will really help? Because they know they are disturbing, they know they are noisy, they want to fight, they want to be playful. So what next can we do? Here, again, okay, to sing the devotional song, okay, we'll talk about the strategies. Now you see again, children, those who haven't written their notes well and written here and there in the notebooks itself, okay. So how are you going to deal with it? You'll say you don't know how to manage your notebooks. There are marks for notebooks. Don't you know this? Why are you spoiling your book? This will be some of your immediate reactions. Other than this, write again, okay? Start a quiz. Okay, are you interested to learn? But do you feel this will be motivating enough for them to stop these habits and start writing well or to behave well in the classroom or listen to you? So what could be some immediate responses which can help children to be more disciplined in terms to maybe writing or maybe in terms to classroom discipline? What you expect them to listen to you? So can we actually describe the problem here? When you see, what is the problem? Problem is that they won't be able to hear to you. Problem is they may be heard in the other classrooms. Problem is they may not be able to understand to what you are talking. So can we actually help them to understand the problem? So can we actually tell them, dear children, you're heard in other classrooms. Do you want to be heard aloud? Can we talk softly? Children, don't you feel you will hurt each other? So that's the problem, that they may get hurt. So they would try to think that because it's not important, they also know that they are fighting, they are playful, but sometimes making them think does really work. And here comes that when you can explain them the problem, what here, like for the notes, even you can say, do you feel this type of notes will help you in the examinations? May not be. You need to write clearly so that you can revise well. So you can talk about the problem which the child is going to face in case he has not properly managed his notes. Proper writing will help you to revise well. Such type of remarks can be really motivating, and I feel here the students will behave more responsibly. So instead of orders or lectures which we give them, be quiet, that is order. Lecture, don't you know enough how to maintain your notebooks? We have taught you there are 5 marks for notebook management or something like that, and you go on explaining, I have taught you well how to manage your notebooks. You all know. Why are you writing in the words? This will spoil your words. So they all know this. Okay, they have this hand information with them. So more you can do is that describe the problem so that they are made to think. Okay, so look at this picture. Let the child think. Here again, you can find children scribbling on the desk. Many times do they. And what is our immediate response? Teachers, please use the chat box. What will be your response? Don't write on the board. Don't scribble. Don't you know where to write? Right. So this is again order. Don't write a sort of instruction or an order. Again, what can be a positive response to such a situation? What could be a positive response? Don't write is again an order. So we need to stop our orders or instructions, and then we need to write, taught something which can help a child out to think. Don't spoil school property, again an instruction. Please write in the notebook. Yes, will help the child to think that, or else you can make a statement that you have notebooks to write. You can write on a paper rather than on a table. So you're making them think that you can write on a paper than on a table. And hope this will help them out to think that is actually writing on the table. Here again, when you find children where they're not properly dressed or appropriately dressed, we try to give them warnings. Don't you know? Your shirts are not in. Okay, next time if I find this. So what could be a positive response? Here for this situation, where you find children not appropriately, dressed, shirts are out. Okay, tell him how you are smart, but now, okay, let's look more decent and presentable, my dear. Very nice. Okay, so you will look more nice in a proper school uniform. Okay. Okay, so you can help children to understand. You look smart when tag your shirt inside. Very nice, Mr. Sanjeet Kumar. So giving examples, I feel again you're trying to compare. So teachers, let's avoid that, giving examples of who are coming well. So let us help the child in an individual case here, teachers. So you can just help him that he will also look smart and presentable in case he tucks his shirt well. Okay, that's good. So here, like instead of accusations or warning, we need to give them information in short. Desks are not for writing. You need to use paper for writing. Second case, you need to keep your shirt tucked to look smart, people admiring you around. So this type of statements, as many of you also wrote the same, will help our children to think and change their behavior. Because here there's a positive motivation which will really help them than trying to compare them or trying to warn them. Again, a situation, child is sleeping in a classroom. So what would be a response? Responses, please. Okay, may I get a response? How do you? Let him rest. Are you tired, boy? That is quite understood that he may be tired or trying to sleep. We'll ask the child the reasons. May not be helping him out. Because right now you want him to study, right? You're not going to support in case he is not medically unwell. You don't want him to develop this behavior of sleeping in the classroom by cooperating with him. Until unless he is really not unwell. Why are you sleeping? Okay. Again, the info. He's sleeping because he's feeling sleepy, right? As a child, I may like to answer, I'm sleepy. That's the reason I'm sleeping. Tell children to wash your face. Okay. Will it really help? Why is he sleeping? Why is he doing so? Okay. Let's move to the next situation. Are you sick? Okay. What happened? Okay. Can we think of giving this child an option out to help him that sleeping is not required, desired in the classroom, so that he's more fresh and ready for his classrooms? Then developing a habit where you're trying to cooperate with him. We will cooperate, but in a very positive way, so that children don't get into this behavioral issues of sleeping in the classroom and others learning from this. Okay, so can we help him out with the option? Okay, would you like to go to the sick room or would you like to stay back in the classroom? Yes, right. So if we give them an option, children will really feel the need to wake up and be in your classroom if in case he is, just not relaxing or sleeping on time at home and making a habit of sleeping in the classroom. Okay, so try to give an option out that do you really feel you're not well and you want to go to the medical room, or would you like to cooperate with the classroom and be attentive? Here again, you can see a outline here and there, okay, where children are not really interested in goods and completing the assignments. So how, as a teacher, would you help them to cooperate? Okay, for this situation, teachers, where a child is not interested in completing his assignments or doing his work on time, what could be some of the options you'd like to create for the child? You can complete it, the choice is yours. I will give them time to complete, but in that case, they may get into a habit of more time, and you want them even to complete the assignments on time, isn't it? So see, discipline should not be at the cost of making your children learn. Positive environment should not be at the cost of making your children learn, taking advantages from you or learning something inappropriate. Time management, they need to learn. So we need to be also very sure when we are guiding them that how much they should expect from us. You can complete the assignment in any form, use art or PPT or anything else, whatever you want. Okay, good. So one option you're trying to give him that in case you're not interested in writing, you may like to complete this assignments in some other way. Try to help the child to complete. Okay, your assignment are helpful. Assignment help you to score extra marks. Okay, again, I would like to bit, I'm trying, getting sensitive on this, that he may do for the sake of getting marks. And tomorrow, assignments are important for his life. Not only this, for the marks, right? So rewards have to be very much aligned to what you think. You will try to explain him in different ways. Okay. But see, he has the explanation. Don't you feel that they know that they need to complete the assignments? If they complete, they will score more marks. Don't you feel that there are more complex things than what we think. Okay, those who will complete the assignment will be allowed to be in charge of, okay, fine. So rewarding process can be aligned to completing the assignments. But yes, he may be having some limitations in completing those assignments. So even we can think on those lines and try to understand that what is the need of the class. And in case he really doesn't need any help, he will make sure that he completes on time. So instead of orders and discouragement, offer him a choice. You don't seem interested in completing your assignments. Would there be some way to help you out to complete those? May I help you how to complete those? Okay, do you need some help in completing those? Do you feel there could be some way around which can help you to create interest in those? So this type of statements may help the child to actually think and complete those assignments on time for you. That there's no choice. Teacher has given me a choice of help or to complete this. So in case I need help, I need to go back to my teacher, understand if there are any difficulties. But yes, he expects me to complete this assignments, and that is the only choice I have, to take help and complete. Yes, we can make group and ask them to help each other to complete. So that will be again a mode how you can help your children to complete those. You don't seem interested. So, you have to create an option out so that children all participate, and, you offer the doors to new possibilities. Once you give a choice that children feel, yes, there's a possibility, even I don't have to stop or look behind and wait, wait or maybe get reminders or warnings. I have possibilities to complete my assignments on time. Okay. Now coming to a picture where you find a child dresses very much, what you say, unclean or maybe smelly. So what would be your immediate response, teachers? Sometimes we just, make sarcastic remarks here. Don't, are you not parents around you? Don't they help you? Can't you see your dress is so filthy? Haven't you seen the smell? Don't you feel there's a lot of smell in your dress? Are there not people at home to help you out? Or maybe sometimes very sarcastically we say, are your parents really bothered about you? So this type of statements are again very discouraging for the child, and they are not interested to cooperate with you because you have really made them feel very much disrespectful. So how can you help a child think here what needs to be done? You can see him that, see, once you're neatly dressed, you will feel more happy, more fresh. Okay, freshness even comes with nice dressing, nice looks, proper dresses. Help him out to think where things are wrong and how these things will help him out. So be on the side of the child, then commenting from the outside, or maybe, just giving the remark for which the child really feels offensive. Come here, I'll help you. But see, you may not be there right now to help him to, you may help him to tuck that dress, but again at the same time, there will be not enough time for you to manage to clean his dress. So you have to think at the options which are available with you, even to ensure that, how you can help the child out, really to think and encourage him, so that he can take help from his family members or maybe help himself to see how he can be neatly dressed. Okay. Again, you can see here lot of what you say, there's not a proper margin So just small things can help children out, and how you talk to your child really helps in creating a very motivating or very supportive environment. So what could be a remark to your teachers? May I get responses for this? We'll sit and do with him and show him the difference. Very nice. Will do understand the child? Yes, there may be some eyesight problems or maybe other problems of eye-hand coordination. So you may like to sit with the child or consult with the parents. Improve your writing style. Okay. Try move proper way. Okay. Okay, we'll teach him how to draw margin. Okay. So certain things will really help him out if you are from the child's perspective and trying to help the child out. The gestures also do help a lot in such cases. Margins, okay, or when you say just when the child is very noisy or something disturbing you, you just make a finger and you express it. This really what's out. Then trying to talk a lot. So just talking margins, dear. Okay, margins. May I get the right margins, right? So I feel this type of notations or maybe gestures really help out the child to think and figure out what next has to be done. And in case you feel there's a learning deficiency or an incapability or an inefficiency, there you may like to teach the child too. Okay, right now we'll be having 2 role plays. And we like to understand how you will respond to such a situation and maybe which are the skills you're trying to use. Some of your students have come in two-wheelers and vehicles. When they are very rigid, they don't want to listen or follow the rules. How will you respond? This generally happens in senior secondary school. Some of your children drive in two-wheelers in spite of lot of notices to them. May not be directly to school, but you may find them even outside the school or maybe, when they are driving on roads. So what could be your understanding, or how do you like to respond to this and help out your children to understand? Do you feel rules here will help? Giving notices or reminders will help? Teachers, may I request you to participate on this? Give your responses. How do you respond to this? Moral thoughts will be given. Don't you feel they know this, right? How can you make them sensitize? Take the key and hand it over to the parents and warning them. Again, teachers warning them is like, again, making them repel or maybe, trying to talk about certain things which they will hide and start doing. It's about teaching them. So warning may not help. So we would try to make them understand that what type of cooperation is required and why is it required. Safety rules, make them okay. So can we really help them here to understand? How do you feel when they drive in two-wheelers? What is your loss when you see them on two-wheelers? Okay, I would like to discuss this in depth, to certain extent, because this is some common problem which we find children, driving on two-wheelers and at times without license, and when they are not, with the right age, and they may end up into problems. Not only two-wheelers, even four-wheelers, I can say these days. So here as teachers, it's very important for us to understand how unsafe they are and how to sensitize them here, because I don't feel only rules will work out. Even if you have rules, you may just, you can warn them or you may expel them, but will it work? May not be. So here you may like to sensitize them with some stories or maybe how you feel in case if it is not even their fault and they'll end up into an accident, then the police is not going to help them. Neither their parents can help them. If some accidents are created, they will be the victims because they were driving without license. Tell them about the problem they may face. Tell them about the consequences which may lead in case there's an accident or something goes wrong. Tell them how do you feel you are unsafe when your students are driving those on road. Tell them how unsafe I feel, how unsafe we are, right? When you drive, I feel that maybe next day, are you coming to school safely or not? I want you all to be safe. I want you all to pass your 12th or maybe give your exams well. And I really feel unsafe when you're driving. And tell them how you feel, what more do you expect? So can you just promise me? Can you all be with me that till your right age and till the time you hold your licenses, please don't drive. And stating your expectations, stating your feelings will really help them out to understand the situation and maybe behave more appropriately in such a case. Do you all agree with me? Okay, thanks a lot, because this is the need and it's a very important thing that how well we can sensitize than just framing the rules. Then in case then you want, you can even take a writing from them. Dear children, after you have after they have heard you, listened to you, like how many of you feel that you can obey these rules, or maybe you would like to come to the trust that you're not going to drive the two-wheelers till that time you hold the appropriate license and hold the eligibility to drive on roads. And then you can take a confirmation where they really write and say, yes, we are with you from our heart, and we are going to believe this rule and we are going to follow this rules, because rules imposed will never work. So it's just making them play around the rules, which we really don't want. Okay, working is good and other things. See, ma'am, again, these are instructions and lectures, and students will just feel that you are too much lecturing them and they may try to oppose your ideas. So it's better to have some sort of feelings conveyed, because you are stopping them because of certain reasons. Let them know these reasons. Why are you not interested for them to drive? They know the rules. They know the traffic rules. But at the same time, why you don't want them? Because you don't want them to be unsafe. You want them to be to your classrooms. You don't want them to get into some danger. And here, I feel as teachers, you can create that, that sort of environment of respect for the rules, and you can really help them to follow those rules. Again, coming to second case, some teachers don't use the language of respect in the classrooms, and that demeans the students. And some teachers, again, some class even develop small groups, and they tease the targeted student and taught behind. So how do you respond to such cases? Thank you. So here again, we have to be very sensitive to what your children are targeting in the class. Why these children, even if a child is always delaying his work, so you say, okay, again you have delayed, again you have done the same thing. I knew you are going to do this. I knew you are going to again, maybe take help from others. You will never complete your work, or you will, I don't want to say manipulation during the exams. Okay, trying to cheat, or maybe some other indiscipline issues. So you try to tag those students, or maybe have the targeted students because they are into repeated behavior, though you may know them. But at the same time, please understand, can we develop respect for them? Can we really understand that they are into that habit, and by talking in front of the class or maybe talking in front of others is really disrespectful, demeans them, and they get into that behavior because they have started accepting them in the same situation. So here we need to stop it, and we need to talk to them with respect. Yes, each one is not blessed to have a good memory. So can I help this child to learn well, so that he will never need to take help or during the exams, or maybe cheat during his exams? So can we talk with the sign of language, respect for him? Can we help him to learn this chapter well? Can we help him to do well during his exams by himself without taking help? So when you develop this type of language, maybe your class will have more respect towards those problems, and they will also be in a position to understand the need of other students, and maybe more positive. So you develop a more positive environment in the classroom. At times parents feel, don't you feel, that everything has to be done by the teachers? Maybe for the wrong behavior, or maybe for the assignments. So here, or maybe the child is into wrong behavior, so they expect, okay, fine, he's doing in school, at home he's completely okay, he never uses wrong abusive language, so it's the teacher's job. So how do you respond to this? Many times we feel this, right, teachers? Then parents come back to us for every small thing. Yes, Pratibha, you are right. Parents always expect everything to be done by teachers. Good enough, but how do you respond to this? Okay, I'm waiting for responses. Teachers, how do you respond? I need some responses. How are you going to react or maybe respond to this? Maybe we are just...
Ma'am, I just want to say something.
Yes.
That inform the participants that a certificate will be generated only if they stay for 45 minutes continuously. So the meeting is not over yet. It will get over at 5 o'clock. And in the meantime, whatever Kavita ma'am is asking, you all can write in the chat box and stay in the meeting for minimum 45 minutes for the certificates to be generated. Thank you. Kavita ma'am, please continue.
Yeah, thank you, dear participants. As you have heard, that certificates only will be issued to participants who will stay for more than 45 minutes. And I feel we can all stay back and learn together. So please do enjoy your session. Okay. So at times, this is not important whose charge it is, right? It's our job or parents' job. It's more important the child belongs to us and we are equally responsible. So in this case, I think you must say that parents, yes, your child is more belongs to me than to you. That's quite right. And I'm going to help my child. Maybe even if you're not ready, I'm there for my child. Okay. That may try to, bring in some confidence among the parents, that maybe even if I neglect, make them think, make them understand the need. That's right. But taking off your responsibilities or taking off will never help. So it's better take the parents in confidence. Ma'am, I'm here for your child, but even I need your cooperation. Why, ma'am? Because he's not with me for 24 hours. I need your help. I need your support. He's my child. I want him to do well. So can we talk with that language? Then saying them, child is all yours. What do you feel? Can I do everything for your child? No, child is mine. If you start the language of reverse, maybe that will help them out. If teacher is ready to own so much, why not me? Okay. So I feel parents must get the time to think. See, there were some problems where this type of statements really helped out the parents to understand that who has to be more responsible, the parents or we both can help the child to cross the journey. Again, you can see a situation where there are some data breach, cyber safety issues, problems of indiscipline, safety. So here, as we stated, that let's express our strong disapproval for the behavior. Let's express our feelings, how we feel, what we expect, and maybe then give it in writing, so that we all agree to what we say. Or make the child understand where the problem was in case if it is one-to-one. So as we said, okay, I'm going to the next example. Suppose children, those who are not ready to understand the concept, describe the problem. They're not ready to hear you, not ready to pay attention. Here you may like to talk to them. So these are the simple 5 or 6 steps which we are going to talk about today, so that we can have a brief or complete our framework, describe the problem, then give in lectures. I want you to understand the concept so that you don't have to mud up, so that you don't have to go on by hearting it. Once you understand, things will become easier for you. Offer a choice. You can prefer to hear me or look at your study material and try to understand. Give them a choice in case they are disturbing the class or not ready to hear you. Describe what you feel. I don't like when you try to distract the class from the topic. So try to talk about your feelings. Give it in writing. Please understand. We will try to participate and discuss. So you can try to make some rules where your children agree that they will participate and discuss when the topic is taught to them. So it's very important that describe the problem, give information, you can offer choice, you can always state what you feel and make the expectations clear. Here's some alternative examples where you can use a different language, than what we generally use. Point out to be helpful. You always need to, understand that how helpful you can be for your children. I hear your frustration. It would be helpful if you could express it without cursing. Express your strong disapproval for the behavior and not the person. It's very, very important. Don't, because it's about the behavior and not the person. That kind of language upsets me. Then saying, so and so, why are you using such a language? Rahul, why do you use such a language? Okay, you always, you're not ready to learn the right language. Okay, so then rather than saying that, you can always say that kind of language upsets me, not you. Set your expectations. I expect you to find other way to let me know how disturbed you are. Okay, if it's disturbing the classes or doing something which disturbs you indirectly or his friends, you may like to put such a language. Show the person how to make amends. I would like you to make a list of words which you could use instead of the ones you just used. Okay, so sometimes that was the wrong language, even the child knows, but again, you can be trying to be more helpful and helping him to make the right change. Offer a choice. You can use words which do not offend, okay, or try to show your anger. You can even help him understand the consequences of his behavior. When I hear these words, I lose all desire to help you. What happens to me when I hear such words from you? So alternative language is what we need to practice, or maybe try to put into our use or make a habit, so that children are really your good friends, or maybe believe the practices which you really believe and want them to follow. Some cautions I would like to discuss. Refrain from giving children the information they already know. If they know certain things and you're going to repeat it, they feel again, oh my God, the teacher has started the boring lecture. Don't we know this? Don't we know it's the classroom? Don't you know it's the English period? Can't you be all quiet? Haven't you learned enough to behave well? So they know this, right? So sometimes a lot of information which we give them, they don't really want to hear us. And that's the reason they stop their ears. Do not use child's name as a word statement. He tries to associate his name with disapproval. You naughty one. Why naughty one, right? He has a good name, and you can always say him in the more positive way. That child, I know you are playful. Can I just have your attention for some time? For children who are sensitive to their teachers, disapproval, a statement of expectation is best. So those who are sensitive, those who love you, and sometimes you will find that even if you have just tried to put it once, I expect this, that you maintain your notebooks more neatly, or you write it to your best. Okay, you will feel the difference, because it's you who is asking them, and they feel it's the teacher's need and they try to meet your needs. More often it's our need because of which we want the child to do something. And let's identify in which stage of learning the child is. Okay, so don't be very much unrealistic in your expectations from children. children will be children, and that's the reason they come to school. And here we are there to teach them to behave, and maybe even if they know what is right, to ensure that they go on right, or to they behave rightly. And we must not forget our childhood days where we were playful, where we wanted to disturb our classes, where we just wanted to break the rules. And I think most of us have done this. And there's the time we must respect the environment. And yes, of course, we have to be there for our children. We have to be there for our students, and teach them also what is right, because that time they need to be quiet. That time they need to understand us, and not to break the rules. There could be some extreme cases, a child who bullies other kids in the playground, hurts them physically, emotionally. So how to handle this child? Here, when you find there are some extreme cases, you may like to understand the root cause, talk to the child, understand the reasons behind, guide the child, and follow him up more emotionally and more being there with the child. He needs to be stopped and redirected. He does not need another demonstration of how bitter and stronger people can hurt smaller and bitter people. So you need not call him, punish him, and then, okay, fine. You know what you have done with him? If I do this to you, how will you feel? Not required, right? Or you may try to do something more than what he has done to his friends. So please don't do this, because this is not going to help him out. But if you tell your expectations, I expect kindness from you. I expect you to use these methods. I expect you that you have to behave kind to teach him kindness. This is what I can say. But if you're trying to warn him, trying to be showing him, making him what you say, do certain things which is not right even for him, so you're not helping him learn. So try to listen and don't try to be judgmental. Be a friend than a punishing parent. Because at times punishment will never deter misconduct. It will only make the offender be more cautious towards crime, and he may be escaping those crime. He may be counseling this crime, and he is not you are not helping the child to understand, to be more honest and more responsible. That's all. So, and we want the children to be more responsible, to be more positive, to be more honest. So we have to help the child, and there is the requirement that how you can motivate him than just punishing him and making him understand that these are the rules. Though he may follow the rules, but he may even try to hide this and do from without your knowledge. So where are we teaching them? The entire intention of teaching and learning fails. So dear teachers, here is the requirement that we need to motivate them, understand, and take certain of the like put some strategies in place, maybe offer them choices, be more positive, be more sensitive, and help them out to understand that what is the need. Okay, so if you're punishing, that's nothing going to help the child. He feels miserable. He feels that he can be also revengeful and make the child angry and frustrated. As you all know, research has even shown that when you teach something, it does not only inflict the pain on those who receive it, but also those who receive it and also those who have witnessed it. So it's the entire class who witnesses these facts of the punishments and other things. And it's not only on the person who has been inflicted, but even on the person, those who witness it. So it's very, very important, teachers, that we need to develop that positive environment, the positive classroom setting, the positive needs, and make them more draw a respect towards learning, positive behavior, and behaving well with others. If you want them to experience the consequences, I'm there with you. Okay. At times, it's very important that you understand what is the consequence of such a behavior. But there's a difference between making them, undergoing the punishment and experiencing the consequence. So I'll take you through an example. Hopefully, it will help you. If a child is not prepared for his annual day, or maybe a role play, you have two choices. One, you can learn your lines and keep your part. Two, you can take your part, you can turn your part over to someone else. So you have given two choices here because the child is not ready to learn and put his play well. So you have asked him that you can take your turn. Sorry, you can turn your part to someone else. Again, the child is not prepared. I've asked another student to do your part. I think you know why. You will miss your talent. Sorry, we will miss your talent. Child says, okay, oh, give me one more chance. The teacher says, you will have many more chances, but this play goes in 2 weeks and we don't have more time. So this time I want your friend to play. This makes the child think I should have learned my lines in proper time. So sometimes it's very important, let the child feel the consequences, experience it, and learn a better behavior or maybe a better performance for the next time. So here it was not you punished him. Here you made him understand because you gave him the option, you gave the child a reason to think, and even when the child misses that chance, the child gets to understand why I had to lose such a great opportunity. So if your child does not respond, you have to just try to understand, is the request appropriate for your child's age and ability? Does your child feel the request is unreasonable? Are there any other physical challenges around? Or is it some more time you need to spend in understanding and doing something? What would be the need for the child? So there could be a lot of cases which you experience, and if you have more certain problems, please do write to me so that we can resolve it together, understanding the need or understanding the situation of your classroom settings. And if there's something more, you can even directly put right now on the chat box, so we could take it as a discussion. We have around 5 minutes left. So any queries or any other things which you feel sometimes goes out of your control? The children may be distracted and they require a more positive attention. Engage your children in some activity when you want them to be disciplined. And there's always a difference between bribe and rewards. And I know that you all of you try to use reward then bribing them, because many times we make a deal that if you do this, we'll do this. Okay, but that is again bribing them. Reward is generally after the activity has taken place, it is unexpected, and that sets the motivation. So as we come towards the end of the session, teachers, any queries which you have or some other examples you want me to take for the room? What do you do at elderly child calls? Just a query here. I'm going through the chat box to understand if there's any query left. Okay, there was a question here, how to help a child who is using abusive language. As we discussed, even you can give him a list of words which he can use. In place of those words, he is into the habit of using. And hope you can ask him to try this words, that would you like to replace this word or this vocabulary of yours with this word. I hope it will be more helpful to you and people can respect you more. I hope this type of language can help the child. So coming to the end of the session, most complex problems do have a solution. So each and every problem which we face, maybe with children in terms to expecting more discipline, could be anything, okay, but what we expect, what is right, we call it as a discipline. So what we expect from our children could be into a lot of, could be into a lot of problem areas which we feel, but each problem has a solution. It's only that we don't attempt to think. And if we think there will be a right solution, we will really land up to helping each and every child to manage our classrooms better. So dear teachers, thank you for such a wonderful engagement and your wonderful responses. And I'm very happy that today it was a very engaging and participating session that where I got the responses. I could equally share my ideas with you, and hopeful this 6 or 7 practices which we just discussed offer a choice. Okay, offer a choice, define the problem. Then can I have quick steps, recapping steps from you? Give information, gestures, options, be sensitive, state your expectations, or maybe you may require to give it in writing. And we try to refrain from, giving orders, giving long lectures, warning them, too much of advices. Yes, and I hope this type of setting will really help out to create the best classrooms, which will engage children in more motivating and which will help them to create a more motivating environment. Thank you, everyone. So thanks a lot. And you'll be receiving your certificate the way, as soon as you all proceed, it is receiving those. And thank you. And now you are free to leave the session and leave the room.